Well, welcome to the Evergreen press conference. First of all, thank you, Miron, for coming up today. Samantha and Ali for organising. Thank you very much. Very simple. Samantha will come round with a microphone when it's your question. Fire away, and then it's over to Miron.
I will shoot back.
Yeah. All right, thank you. First on our list is Jamie.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Miron. So just quickly, I'd like to know, how do Plymouth Argyle compete with other areas of the UK that may be seen as more attractive to players, investment, being in the southwest? Do we find smaller businesses down here doesn't give us such a big sponsorship area? And is it hampering Plymouth Argyle's progress for the future?
These are 6 questions already for the start. I'm going to only answer one, the last one. I'm going to only, yes. I'm going to only answer one. Good afternoon. It is maybe a geographical disadvantage on one side, because that's the end of the world almost, and we are far away from a lot of clubs. I think the what is it, Bristol? I think just 2 hours. So that's already, it's like a derby. I'll just give you a quick example. I worked 3.5 years in Belgium, and our farthest away trip was 2.5 hours on the coach, and we left the coach like that after 2.5 hours. We spent, I think, 6 hours traveling to Watford. So on the one side, it's a geographical disadvantage, especially maybe for the first team. But the other side, it's a geographical, clearly, advantage, because to attract youth players and young players, because they have almost to stay here. And that's something very, very positive, because the next clubs around are just far away. So you can keep the most talented young players here. But it's tricky, because I felt this when I was in talk with players in January, when I negotiated also with potential new signings. And they asked me also, okay, how does a away trip look like? We are flying all the time. And I had to say them, no, not at all. We have to take the bus and be in the bus for a couple of hours. So on one side, it could be a disadvantage, but there are plenty more advantages, clearly. And also in terms of business. I'm here now for almost 3 months, and I just feel how big Argyle is for the people, how big Argyle is for the community, but also how big and how attractive Argyle is for businesses to sponsors, to be around, to be in the stadium. So I think there are disadvantages, but there are clearly more benefits for Argyle. So I think I answered 3 out of your 6 questions. Are you happy? You're going to come back again? Just ask me. Don't worry at all. We have no stress at all.
Right, the next one is, for me, I'm asking on behalf of Caroline Wills. Nice, easy one. Thank you, Caroline. What is the long-term plan for the club if we do go down at the end of this season?
Caroline. I will remember her. First of all, we still have a slightly chance, and we should use this one. It's not easy. The games are running out. We are still, I think, in a phase of the competition where, especially looking at the next home game, you have almost to win, or we have almost to win, to have this chance to stay up. But there's a chance. And I think afterwards, we have to, regardless how we finish the season, really be clear and strict in our analysis, and because there are reasons why we are in a position where we are, and there are also reasons why Argyle is struggling throughout the whole year. And that's something to analyze, that's something to look directly and honest into it, and to take also, to make a clear summary, and to have then a clear, at least an idea why it went wrong and where are things we can improve. I come again back on 3 months here, but I see the huge potential of Argyle. I see the huge potential of this club, of this community, of the fan base. It's not normal, I can tell you this, guys, being in this situation for almost now 2 years, and still going to Watford, still going to Portsmouth, and having 1,500 fans away. And we spoke about a geographical disadvantage. So you guys are also on the train and on the bus and in the car for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and the same back. So that's a strength, that's a potential. And I think then we have to analyze, and then we have to look deep what went wrong and why, and how to take again the best out of it to bounce back, because the potential is here, and I think we should start finally also using this potential.
Thank you. Next we've got Judy.
Hi Miron, thank you. How did you decide on appointing Nikolaj Katic as a captain in the event of both Joe and Adam being absent, and how did the team respond to the decision?
That was a very easy decision, because he's a leader. And he took responsibility from day one he arrived. And he's taking this responsibility still right now. That's a player who actually cares a lot. And he's just on loan here. So you have sometimes also the mindset that players simply don't care. Especially if they're on loan and they know they're going to return back in a couple of weeks to their clubs, and their clubs are in the Premier League, in the Championship, somewhere else abroad. So they don't have to fear so much about the future. But Nicola cares. And Nicola is just here now for a couple of months and just now for a couple of weeks, but he really, really cares. And he's super, super respected, not only inside the staff. It was the reason also we also signed him, but also super much respected inside the locker room as a true leader, not leading most of the time verbally or by shouting, by words, leading just by example on the pitch and off the pitch. And unfortunately, we missed Adam for 5 games, and Joe, the skipper, he was out for almost 5 months. So, and not really able to fluently come back in to the team, having also Matthew Sorinolo on the other side, just giving absolutely nothing for the guys in behind him to chase. So the decision to go with Nicola was an easy one. And again, the decision to go away from Nicola now against Watford to put Adam, to give Adam again the band, was also an easy one, because I think Adam is the present and the future also of this club, and he has also this leadership inside him. Maybe very similar like Nicola, not maybe verbally, but just by going fully as soon as he's putting the green jersey on. And that's also a leadership, and that's also character.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got Daniel next.
He was looking 4 times already. Always, it's your question, so
I remember it. That's the problem.
okay.
You've experienced difficulties in recruiting players to Argyle. For example, Katic, I know, was a tough person to recruit. How do you feel that you can attract more players like Maxi, Katic, Randalls, Hardys of the world to not only stay at Plymouth, regardless of the league position or league, but to come down to Plymouth and stay on a permanent?
Mm-hmm. Now I understand why you looked over. That's a tough one. That's a good one. That's a good one, because I think recruitment is the magic word. We don't have the highest budget. We don't have the most money in our competition. That's why we need to recruit smart. And that's why we need to recruit wisely. And there are some behaviors, and you can clearly analyze on the pitch, because you just see them play. You can watch them play. You can take the videos. It's so easy right now to have access to players. It's like this. But then also to figure out the right character, the right personality, the right mindset, the right attitude. And that's something we have to have a look also. That's why I was so, how you say the right word, stubborn? When you don't give up, how you say, what is the right one?
Yeah, stubborn.
Stubborn on Nicola and on Maxime, because I just realized these are the right characters for Argyle. These are the right personalities. They have the heart to wear this beautiful shirt. And if you see, I think, their performance, then I think we, especially you guys as supporters, can say, okay, yeah, 100% they are here. They are here. So recruitment is crucial, especially for smaller clubs. Don't get me wrong, for smaller clubs. We are playing Norwich on Saturday. They have a squad value of 100 million. So if we don't recruit wisely, or we don't recruit good, you simply don't have a chance, because in the end it's also about money. And that's why I think recruitment is essential. It's the most important part of an organization, because then you can prepare yourself to be competitive right now when it counts, but also you can prepare yourself and build up mid and long term. And I think That's a big game changer. If you recruit good, we will be fine. If you don't recruit well, you simply don't have a chance.
Thank you. The next one is young Arlo and Hugo. You going to do it together, lads?
Yeah.
Right, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
What is your favourite Fanta?
What's my favorite Fanta? I'm a classic guy. I go for orange all the time. Okay? Clean, but fresh. So when you open up, you have to drink it immediately. If you leave it open for 35, 40 minutes, it loses the strength. So I like Fanta orange. Don't ask me about nachos now. He's going to ask me about nachos now. When I go for Fanta, then I go full.
Okay, this next one's on behalf of Samantha Brayley. With the introduction of Maxi and Katic to the team, are there any plans to get more players of their stature into the midfield to add some more strength?
My plan is to get the character of those guys, a la Maxime and a la Nicola, all over the pitch. Everywhere. All over the pitch, starting from... We are lucky we don't have a GK problem, so we have 2 fantastic GK, especially Connor is performing outstandingly. But I think we need those characters and those personalities everywhere. Centre-backs, wing-backs, full-backs, 10s, 9s, false 9s, everywhere. Because again, our competition is tight, our competition is super competitive, and we have a clearly disadvantage in terms of money. We can't compete with the most of the teams. That's why recruitment is important, and that's why the character is important. So I will try my best possible to get some more Maximes and some more Nicolas and some more Hardys and some more Adams, player who cares, to Argyle.
Thank you. We've got Tom next.
Hi, Miron. Which top-flight teams inspire your style of play, and do you think it's suitable for lower levels of football, such as Argyle in the Championship?
And our competition in general?
In general.
In general, I'm a huge fan of Atletico Madrid. I love this team because this team is organized and structured, and this team is ready to go all in and to make it as uncomfortable as possible. And I think also on the highest possible level, this is world class. So I like this team. And if you see them purely in our competition, there are plenty of teams I truly admire and look up, like Leeds United, like Sunderland. I know this are like Sheffield United. I know these are top flights and the top teams, but this is organized, structured, super physical, super fast, and they know what to do in every single phase. So internationally, I look up to Atletico. I look up to Liverpool. I like this team. I like the head coach of Liverpool, and I consistently try to learn. But not every idea is easy to implement also at your current club. And it's never about, I have a clear style of play, but it's not about my style of play. It's about, can the lads actually deliver this style of play? And I think then you have to leave your sides sometimes, to leave your ideas sometimes also, and put your ideas sometimes by side, and just try to maximize you have out of your current stuff. And I think this is something we try to do and we try to achieve. Thank you, Tom.
We've got Carl next.
Good afternoon, Miron. Your first opening speech to the team was truly inspirational. It would have had many of the players and fans alike willing to run through walls for you. But how are you finding it in these difficult times to actually motivate the team week on week?
Not difficult at all. Not difficult at all, because the lads are actually very motivated. And don't get me wrong, I know we sometimes don't have the results, and you guys sometimes thinking, okay, they are not motivated, they don't want to go fully. They really want. So, and motivation is just one part of our game, and it's actually a small part. because they have this motivation inside them. That's why they are also on this level. And it's not easy being a professional football player. It's not easy being a pro in the championship. That's very, very hard. So if you don't have this motivation back then, and it starts almost in this age, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, you simply can't make it. And from time to time, it's up to us as staff to put the fingers sometimes or to lift them up. That's why I'm always positive, and I'm always trying to see. I'm realistic, believe me. But imagine me as head coach, as gaffer, as the boss, with a wrong body language. Imagine me when I get the microphone before the game or after the game, and I can point 1 million negative things, but that's very easy. But the lads they're not stupid. They can see this, they can hear this, and they will also connect them one-on-one. And our goal and our aim is always to protect the players first, especially publicly. We are very strict and very clear. When we have them beside closed doors, then we have to. We have also the right. And I think the people sometimes exaggerate, have too much imagination about motivation. You can't win a football game by giving a motivational speech. It's simply impossible. It will just disappear after a couple of seconds. It will disappear with the first action. So motivation is one part. But it's not the biggest one. And I think especially people outside from this sport and outside from this inner circle think always it's due to their motivation or due to the lack of motivation. We didn't win the game against Liverpool because our motivation was like this. And we didn't draw the game against Watford, now 0-0, because our motivation was like this or like this. It's always a thin line and a good balance, but it's important to motivate it. I have a very clear slogan for myself. It's inside my office. It's hidden everywhere. Our job is not to keep them happy. Our job is to keep them engaged. And if we can keep them engaged, we're in a good way.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Miron. So going off your time with Plymouth Argyle so far, what has been your favourite moment with the club?
My favorite moment, I think the final whistle against Liverpool, because it felt like an earthquake, like it's, okay, this place is about to collapse. And I think the goal we scored against Manchester City, I said it also to Ellie after the game, I just quickly turned around to look who scored. As soon as I found the goal scorer, Maxime, I just turned to my right shoulder and saw 8,000 of the Green Army jumping on the field already. And this was a moment for me, I will never forget this moment. So that was a special one. And hopefully I will still have another one until the end of the season, and this should be the most beautiful one so far. But if you ask me honestly, the Liverpool, the final whistle, and the emotions after the final whistle on the stadium, on the grass, inside the locker room, in the city, I think we gave you guys something to cheer and something to celebrate and something to be proud of. And also the 1-0 and the opening against Manchester City. And it felt like, okay, also this side is about to collapse. And to be fair, throughout this 95 minutes, it was only the Green Army who was loud and who was celebrating. So these are moments I will keep with me forever.
Thank you.
This one is on behalf of Gemma Corsten. What has been the most challenging aspect of your coaching career so far?
Whole coaching journey is a struggle without any end and with some beautiful moments in between. I love my job. I really enjoy my job. So I'm coming every single day here, 7:30, with a big smile, because I know it's a privilege. It's a huge, huge privilege to be a football player, but it's also a huge privilege to be a professional coach. And challenges are everywhere. I remember when I took over 3.5 years ago, back in Belgium, it was a huge challenge to not getting relegated. We faced the bottom of the competition, but we found a way to get out of this. The next challenge was next year to stabilize the team, so we finished 6th. So the next challenge was already to maintain maybe this position 6. We finished 4. The next challenge, what could be, because we did it so well, 2.5 years, can we maybe reach Europe? So the next challenge was to reach Europe. We did it. The next challenge was, can we maybe grab the European group stage? We did it. So these challenges are coming all the time, and they are somehow never stopping. And we have also, since I arrived, since day one, since 7 or 8 of January or the 10th of January, every single day is the challenge over here, every single day. But I don't see this too much in a negative context. I like to see also the possibilities, the opportunities, and again, how privileged I am to be head coach, and how privileged I am to be head coach here of Plymouth Argyle. So the challenging will never fade, but that's why it's so important, because they're keeping us also motivated. They're keeping us alive. They're keeping us sharp. So without any challenge, I can go straight home, and I don't want to.
Thank you. The next one is from Marcus Corsten. How do you keep the team motivated during tough times this season?
Tell me an easy time this season. We have to. It's part of our job. In my opening speech, I mentioned that it's not easy being a professional football player, because what you guys completely maybe underestimate, because you never felt it on your skin, we don't have a private life. We don't have a private life. We are property of the public. When we play bad, and when we don't deliver, when I'm bad, when I don't deliver, people just get online and they kill you. They kill you. In the time of social media, you can't completely hide from this, and you can't put it away, because as soon as you open up your phone, it pops up. So, and that's not easy to deal with a team that does something to a group. And these are young players. These are young players. These are family men. These are people with a normal life. So if you don't agree with your colleague on your work, or if you don't agree maybe with your neighbor, you don't go online and call him an idiot, call him a fool, call him also many other things. You solve it differently. But you can call me that. You can call Adam Randall that. You can call Hardy that. You can call Darko that. And that's something very, that's how the society works. And that's also how the society is treating professional football players. I can only speak for the football players. It's more or less a social problem, and everywhere. And that's why it's hard to be a professional football player. That's why it's generally hard to be in this business, because it's public. And because some fans, not all, they just think because it's public and because they see sometimes our faces on the television, they can do whatever they want with us. And they can actually also do, and we don't have any protection on any shield. And the thing is, you can't also escape from there, because it's omnipresent. You just have it everywhere. And that's also a challenge, and that's why I am always so, especially outside, always protecting and always shielding, because it's not easy for the lads to deliver. It's the game we love. It's the most beautiful game in the world, but it's ruthless and it's tough.
Thank you. The next one is from Tori McGrath. Would you like to see some home pre-season friendlies? And if you could pick any team in the
Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Red Bull Salzburg, and say hello to him, okay? And everything in home park, and in between the Kaiser Chiefs. Okay. Next question, please.
Tori, that one's answered. Yeah. The next one we've got is Matt. Thank you, Samantha.
Good afternoon, Miron. Thank you for your time today.
Pleasure.
My question is, does the current style of play and tactics, is it fully supported in your own philosophy, or have you had to adapt because of the current squad and also because of the current position that we're in?
Thank you for the question. I think it's a very good question. Yes, adapting from day one. I came back from Belgium. We had the highest physical output in Belgium for the last 3 years in a row. The youngest team in Belgium 3 years in a row. The youngest team in Europe. The youngest team in Conference League. We have a physical output similar to Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspurs. So highest physical output. We had in Europe the 5th highest defensive line, together with Benfica, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, and Feyenoord Rotterdam. These are teams that are dominating the domestic competition. These are top teams. And we had, I think, a defensive height of 49 meters. That means our back three, a back four is consistently on the midline. So I had a clear style of play. But it's always important you have to realize what is your squad giving you. Because if I would just simply go and play like I used to play, with the highest possible intensity, with pace, high up on the pitch, I don't think I will get the maximum out of our current squad. That's why we as coaches need to adapt consistently, week by week, and that's also our job. Because otherwise, if I don't see this and I'm like a racing horse, and I'm also like this, I will miss a lot of things left and right. And I have to adapt. But I think the next transfer window is a possibility for us to keep both eyes open. Who will actually fit for a high physical output, for powerful, paceful football? And then I'm coming back again to recruitment. I think those guys, we should also recruit.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Afternoon, Miron. Mav pretty much just asked the question I was going to ask, so I'm going to adapt mine a little bit, which is something you've already spoken about. You've spoken about recruiting players with character and good attitudes, but how do you coach current players? How do you coach adapting their character and attitudes? Because obviously you play a high intense press. So how do you coach them to have the attitude and desire to keep going for 90 minutes?
It's always difficult to keep going for 90 minutes, especially if you try to implement high intense football. Most of the times the first guys who you have to sub off in minute 60, 65 are actually the number 9s and the number 10s because they are running their legs dead. And we tried the same, or we did the same against Watford. I think Obafemi, Hardy and Musa did it really well. They've been consistently a transition threat, but at a certain point they just ran out of gas. So that's very normal and very usual. Remember just back a couple of years ago when Liverpool had Firmino and Mo Salah and Sané was in the other side. I know this is now the highest possible level of football, but we can also always use this as reference. They also didn't play every game for 90 minutes, so we changed them. And that's why it's important for us to, when we do subs and when we change and when the game change or entering the pitch, to maintain the intensity, to maintain the quality, to maintain the structure, to maintain the game plan, regardless if it's we want to attack or we want to defend. And that's a balance, and there we have consistently to adapt and to find best possible way to get players on the pitch in the end to help us to see it out the game if we want to win, if we want to protect, and that's a balance. And I think there we can do better.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just a few more, Miron. These are from Evergreen members who are unable to come today. So, first of all, we've got John Doyle. What is the biggest tactical change you've made since taking over, and why?
First of all, it was obvious that we need to stabilize our defensive structure. We conceded 2.5 goals per average. You can't win a football game, because if you want to win a football game, you need to score 3, and that's very, very tough. You need to have Mo Salah, Sané, and Firmino up in front if you want to score 3. And we just tried to stabilize the defensive structure because it was very, very much needed. And then that's why we also signed, for example, players like Nicola and Maxime, and also Pushka to help us to stabilize the defensive structure. And I think we stabilized our defensive structure. We saw it also now just a couple of days ago in Watford. And the next step is just to be more dangerous up in front, just to be clinical, to be also ruthless in front of the goal, and then you can win games.
Thank you. The next question is quite a similar one, actually, from Gareth Coleman. Could you please tell us how you plan to develop the current team, and what are your goals for the team's performance?
I spoke about that we have the youngest team, and I'm used to work with young lads and with the youngest team, not only in Belgium, also in Europe. And there are phases where you can develop a team. It's very difficult to develop especially youngsters. It's very difficult to develop youngsters and to implement young lads and young players into the team when the things around you are not stable and everything is about to break down. Because you need to create also an environment for the youngsters so they have actually a chance to perform. And I think the situation of Argyle throughout the last year was not in a benefit for any youngster, because our structure and our fundament around is not really stable. It's actually very, very fragile, and then it's difficult to develop young players. But this is the situation we are in, and this is the situation we are facing, and we still try, especially as staff, to keep these pillars as strong as possible, to keep the fundaments as strong as possible, so we can develop as a club and as an organization, as a team, but then in the end, to develop youngsters and to get the next Adam Randalls into the stadium and to give them the band also.
The next one, nice easy one, is from Mandy Thomas. If the team is relegated to League One, have you been given any assurance that there will be a budget to rebuild?
So you're coming with the toughest question as the last one.
We'd warm you up first.
I like the Fanta question, to be fair. That was a proper one, son. There's still 7 games to play. And when the time is right to think about the future, believe me, I will think about it, and I will spend a lot of time, a lot of energy to maximize, for which outcome, I don't know, but to maximize everything in aim to keep this wonderful club as stable as possible, as strong as possible, as competitive as possible, regardless of the competition. But it's a mission, it's not a mission impossible, and we still believe.
And the very last question is from...
You told me that's the last one.
Sorry, second from last. The last one is from...
But that must be an easy one now.
It's okay, it's not too bad. From Richard Reardon. I very much hope you have settled into life at Argyle and in Plymouth. I would be interested to hear what you have found to be the most unexpected difference between your experience of coaching in Europe and now English leagues, particularly in the context of different styles of play, and how that has provided you with great challenges in the implementation of your tactical preferences.
Yeah, I'm lost already.
Me too.
I'm done. I'm offline already. Let me answer first Plymouth. Beautiful area, beautiful city, beautiful nature. And I was spoiled. I lived 3.5 years in Bruges. If you guys never been to Bruges, please go. It's one of the most beautiful cities in Western Europe. It's a fairy tale. And I spent actually yesterday, it's Edgecombe, the whole day over there. I took the ferry in the morning from Royal William Yard, and I spent there 6-7 hours just walking around, breathing, recharging. And I think you guys are spoiled in terms of nature. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And my family was also here the first time in the mid-break, and I spent a week over here. They're also very much surprised because we are also living in Austria. So, and if you've never been to Austria, you should also go there. It's also beautiful. It's a beautiful country. So I'm actually very spoiled in terms of the cities I live and I grew up. And it's a fantastic area. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. And more I have the chance to explore and to find out how beautiful it is. What was the rest of the question?
It was on the difference in playing styles between Europe and England.
Yeah. That was, and that's not exaggerating, and it's honest and it's from the heart. Always dreamed about England and coming here to this football nation. You guys are living football. And I worked in Austria, I grew up in Bosnia, I worked in Austria, I worked in Belgium. I've been also around the world, football, but it's different here. And the most exciting and the most beautiful part of everything is the noise after we scored a goal. That's for me, that's like a drug. Can I say drug here? Because we have kids here. It's too late now. It's too late now. Yeah, but it's your fault, okay? That's your fault. That's your fault. And that's, I think, the most beautiful feeling. And I think in general, English football, you guys are living football here, and that's beautiful.
Right, everybody, thank you all so much for coming. Thank you for being Evergreen members. And most of all, thank you, Miron.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks
Thank
very
you
much.
Thank you very much, guys.